Welcome back to another episode of Single Princess Problems, my weekly YouTube series where I talk about all it is to find a decent prince in this modern dating market and the hilarious stories that come from it. So there's a lot of places that you can meet guys. I've talked about OkCupid and Tinder and yoga. Well, another location is the gym. I used to be a Pilates instructor and taught at a gym here locally. And there was a guy that came to my class one night and did the class, and he was actually pretty good at the class. Not my normal type. He was a little fit, like very muscular, obviously worked out all the time type of guy, and that's not normally my type. But after class, I wanted to make sure he enjoyed the class since this was his first time, so I got to talking with him, and one thing led to another, and we ended up sitting and talking at the gym for a couple hours. Come to find out, he lives right around the corner from me, and the apartment's right next door to mine. He is my age, he owns his own business, so we had a lot of things in common, and we were really hitting it off. And he had just recently moved out here, so he didn't have a lot of friends or anything, so he asked if he could take me out on a date. So I agree, and we go out the next night. He picks me up. We go to a place and have dinner, and again, we're having good conversation. Things are rolling along swimmingly, and we get back from dinner, and we start to drive back towards our location, our places, since we're right next door to each other. And he says, oh, I don't want this date to end. I'm like, oh, me either, actually. Like, I'm having a really good time, and I like first dates. I like, learning about new people and things like that, so I didn't want that to end. So he goes, well, why don't we go back to my place, since it's right here. I just need to warn you, I have my mother staying with me right now. My dad just passed away 6 months ago. I thought it would be a good idea for her to come out and hang out for a little bit. So we'll have to just hang out in my room. I'm like, all right, okay. Again, I'm pretty relaxed and understanding when it comes to things. So we go. And we go into his room. He closes the door. We start to, talk, and one thing leads to another. And so he's kissing me, and I'm not really 100% into it, but we had a good first date, so I figured why not? We're kissing. And the door knocks. It's his mother.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So she's like, honey, did you take my credit card to dinner with you? I can't find my credit card anywhere. And so he has to stop what he's doing with me to turn and yell through the door, no, Mom, I don't have your credit card. I will find it in the morning. Just go to bed. This whole time, I have both hands over my mouth because I'm stifling laughing so hard that I feel like I'm like a teenager. We have this mother knocking on the door. So she leaves. He comes back. He's kissing me, whatever. And I don't know how long later, knocking again. Honey, I can't find my cell phone. Do you know where my cell phone is? Can you call my cell phone? And I'm just like, does she know I'm here and she's jeopardizing this? What is going on? And I'm dying laughing. And he's like, no, Mom, I don't have your cell phone. We'll find it in the morning. Go back to sleep. And I'm just and he just keeps apologizing to me, and I just can't stop laughing at this point. So I'm laying down, and he's on top of me kissing me. And again, I'm still okay, I'm in my head, I'm trying to figure out how to get out of this because I'm not really jiving with this. And he proceeds to take his shirt off. I do not take his shirt off. He takes his shirt off. And again is kissing me. And next thing I know, I am feeling very wet and not in a good way. He is raining sweat down upon me.
Oh my gosh, that is so gross.
The most I've ever had someone, my bangs were plastered to my forehead from his sweat. And this whole time he keeps trying to move my hands to hold on to his waist, and I keep instinctively moving my hands away. And it's just becoming a disaster. And I have a really hard time with bodily fluids and functions. These are not things I'm comfortable with in general. So the fact that someone else's sweat is now drenched upon me is mortifying. So I'm quickly trying to figure out how to get out of this situation. And I do. I'm like, okay, it's time to wrap this up. We're done. And he proceeds to put his shirt back on and take me home. And wants to have another date. And so I'm torn. I'm telling my girlfriend on the phone, he was nice. He's got his own business. He has his own car. He has his own place. Like, these are things, on paper, he seemed like a really good option. I just don't know what it is that I'm not feeling. And she's like, well, if he's such a nice guy, give him one more chance. I'm like, all right, okay. So we go out a second time, and I'm very on edge. I'm very uncomfortable with the thought that this is going to happen again, and I don't want it to happen again. And we come back, and again, he's like, do you want to come up? And I'm like, you know what? No, actually, I'm sorry. Like, I feel like maybe we rushed things a little bit too much. Just to try to, like, and he was really nice about it. He's like, well, I totally understand. Yes, I feel like we rushed things too. How about our next date? We just go to coffee or lunch or something, you know, more low-key during the day. And I'm like, yes, like, thank you. That's exactly what I want. Thank you. So he's like, let's drive you home. So he drives me home, and we pull up, and as I'm getting out of the car, he goes, well, I can't say I'm not disappointed.
What?
And that was my cue to leave. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, or at least just a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you again soon.